We are back on SpongeBob Tower Defense, and we're going to be doing another crazy theme team. For this team, I am going to be taking a comment suggestion, which I was kind of already thinking about it, but I think this suggestion is awesome. And that's going to be the Prehistoric team. Let's go ahead and start putting the team together. We're going to start with, of course, when you hear Prehistoric, we got to get Prehistoric Gary. Then, of course, we do have the Prehistoric Crabs. This one was a pass unit from a little bit ago. Then let's go ahead and get the SpongeBob version of the Caveman. You guys already know it. It is the Cave Bob. Huge shout out to Charson for letting me borrow this unit. A super old pass unit right here. Then, of course, we have SpongeBob Duo. That means it's Patar, and that is the Caveman Patrick. Then, of course, we have Squog, another one of the Caveman Trio. And then last but not least, for Prehistoric, we do have the dinosaur itself, Squidosaurus Rex. I actually think this is a really interesting team. It's going to be a really fun team. We have a starter. We have some huge, massive damage. We're going to have to see how good this team really is, though. Of course, to start, we have to start in the boss battles. Let's go ahead and do a Hydra one, and let's see how fast these things can do. I think the Prehistoric Gary and the Prehistoric Crabs, along with the Squog, is going to be super good damage. So I think we're going to be able to take this out pretty quick, as long as we can spawn into the map. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and start this thing. 17.9 million damage. Let's see how long it takes. It doesn't look like it's going to be too long, but it's probably going to be like closer to 15 seconds or so. Now is to see the final time. It looks like 16 seconds is going to be the final time for this Prehistoric team. Not too bad, to be honest, but I expected a little bit more from these units. Let's go ahead and set up for that endless run, though. Now, like I said before, we do already have a starter, so I don't need to bring another account or anything like that. We can go ahead and just load straight up into a Con Street Endless, and we could start getting the team placed down. I'm gonna ask before we start placing everything, how far do you guys think this team is going to get? I think it's actually gonna be pretty good. I think maybe around, I'll say 780. That's gonna be my guess, but this Prehistoric Gary might actually carry, let's say 820 instead. You guys let me know in the comments below. Let's go ahead and turn this up to 7x. Let's get this start wave, and we're gonna go ahead and place a Squog first. Maybe I could even place a Patar because this thing has insane range, and it's an AoE, so it should just wipe the floor. It does. Now, his duo is a Splash Cave Bob over here. His range is actually not that great, if we're being honest. I think it's just because of how old this unit is, though. Then we do have the last of the trio, and that's going to be Squog. We're going to go ahead and place the Squogs right here. It looks like Prehistoric Crabs is also a Splash, so we could go ahead and place this here, and then we can just place the Prehistoric Gary right here. This thing is going to be pierced, so it's going to be nice if we can line this up as best as possible. I don't think I lined up this one very well, but it should still be hitting all of them. Last but not least, we do have the Squidosaurus Rex. This is also an AoE, so we can kind of place this wherever, as long as it picks up full map coverage, which I think it will right here. So we did place everything, and I don't know if this is actually the best placements. I just kind of placed where I could. I know that a lot of these are AoEs and splashes, so as long as they're full map coverage, I'm not too worried about it. It's mainly just this Prehistoric Gary and this Squog. But let's go ahead and get to upgrading, starting with the Caveman SpongeBob. You also know him as Cave Bob, but this is going to be doing 45,000 damage, almost 46,000 damage, 0.9 on the SPA, and 50.4 on the range. If we go ahead and upgrade that all the way, it's 63,000, almost 64,000, 0.7 on the SPA, and 65.4 on the range. Not too great for this Caveman SpongeBob. It didn't even pick up the full map coverage. Next, we do have Squog. I think this is going to be like the second most recent release. This and the Rex, if I'm not mistaken. But this is going to be doing 84,000, almost 85,000, 0.3 on the SPA, and 23.2 on the range. All the way maxed out, it's 129, almost 130,000, 0.2 on the SPA, and 27.7 on the range. Not great range for the single hit, but super fast animation, and so he might help carry. Next, we do have the Rex. The Rex was released next. It was 172,000 damage, 0.7 on the SPA, and 70.6 on the range. If we upgrade to max, that's doing 284,000 damage, 0.6 on the SPA, and 83.2 on the range. And that's as an AoE, so this is going to be doing some insane amount of damage for us. Next was the Prehistoric Gary, and that's going to be doing 1 million damage, 0.5 on the SPA, and 100.8 range. If we go ahead and upgrade that to max, it's doing almost 1.5 million damage, 0.4 on the SPA, and 130.8 range. Absolutely insane for this unit. We do also have an ability for this thing, and I'm going to be using that as much as possible. Next, we do have the Prehistoric Crabs, and he's going to be doing 160,000 damage to start, 0.2 on the SPA, and 107.5 on the range. His final SPA stays the same at 0.2, but his damage goes up to 223,000 damage, 139.5 on the range. Not too bad for a pass unit that is still in the game right now if you guys need it, but it is only a splash unit. This thing might have actually really helped with the boss battles now that I think about it because of the splash, and I think this thing's pretty quick on the animation. Look at how fast it's attacking. Last but not least, we have the bummer of the group, Patar. He's only doing 14,000 damage somehow, 0.7 on the SPA, and 80.6 on the range. If we upgrade to max, this thing's only going to be doing 20,000 damage, 0.6 on the SPA, and 104.6 on the range. Just not good at all, but I do think the numbers might be just a little bugged. It's attacking, but it's not even actually doing damage. We'll be back, though, when this does start to pick up. Hopefully, you guys are going to be correct on your guess. I'm thinking we'll be back around like 600, 650, though. So we're coming up on wave 645, and here is a boss dirty bubble. This is without abilities. That's how far it got. So I think maybe 820 without abilities is possible. I think 850 with the abilities. Honestly, not too bad so far for these prehistoric teams. I think right here for a dirty bubble on wave 650 is actually not too bad. So we're on wave 729, and as you guys can see, all of the big slow anchovies are starting to get pretty far. I might have to start using abilities here, or we're gonna die out a lot sooner than I want to. We should be able to take out this dirty bubble right here. If not, we have one more ability. We should take it out, though. We're good. Now I'm gonna start prepping to make sure I am getting my abilities off in time. We're on wave 757 now, and I'm thinking this might just be my demise. I do not think we're going to get past this dirty bubble right here unless we get a clutch ability at the end, but it doesn't look like it. That is going to be our first leak at 757, a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be. I forgot how fast this thing scales when you get up to the higher waves. Here we are at likely another leak, but the question is, do we leak to that slow anchovy? We did not. We're just gonna leak to the regular dirty bubble, but we might leak to that same slow anchovy when it does come around in about 15 more waves. So I think the final wave count is gonna be about 785. Because I do think this is where we're going to leak soon. I'm going to turn it down to 1x, and we're going to go ahead and check out the stats of every single one of these units. Let's check one of these cave bobs. It looks like 221 million for this cave bob. Not too bad, to be honest with you. This one's doing 370. That's actually kind of surprising. Do all the cave bobs look like that much? No, I think it's just the... Oh no, all three of them. Oh my goodness. I can't believe the cave bobs actually do that much damage. It's actually doing more than the squog at 165 million, 200 and 200. It's about the same damage. That is crazy, you guys. Then we do have the Patar, which is the worst unit out of all of these. 57 million for all of them, even though this thing is full map coverage. Then we have Rex. That's doing 919 million, almost 1 billion. We do have one with 1 billion and another one with 1 billion. Prehistoric Gary is going to be at 2 billion, almost 2 billion, and almost 2 billion. So this thing might crack exactly 2 billion right beforehand. Let's go ahead and 7x though, and let's watch our demise. Hopefully we do make it to at least the dirty bubble so we can get those extra waves. But I think this is the dirty bubble, if not slow anchovies, that we leak to. I think even this slow anchovy right here without the abilities is going to leak. No, it was so close. That is going to be our end though. Boom. Our final waves were going to be 784, 12.93 billion damage. A 46-minute run, not too bad for these guys. Honestly, a very surprising team when it comes to prehistorics, but let's go ahead and go back to the lobby. Let's try and get these units back to Charson really quick. So we're in the trading hub with Charson, and I do have his prehistoric crabs. I did go ahead and give something for this. I gave him all the prehistoric crabs to 5-star this thing. He needed 6 of them, and so I helped him with that. And then, of course, he did let me borrow the caveman SpongeBob, so huge shout out to Charson again. I cannot appreciate him enough with all the amount of units he's been willing to let me borrow. I cannot thank him enough. Oh, and I almost forgot. He just reminded me right now. And the Rex. I also borrowed the Rex from him. A huge, huge shout out to him. Oh my goodness, that was almost a big mistake from me. Huge shout out to Charson. He just reminded me. He said the Rex and then probably cursed me out. So he said that he actually put the, oh my god, the YouTuber RDM is a scammer is what he actually put. That's what the hashtags were, but it gave me a good laugh. There is his units back though. Let's go ahead and hit the outro. That is going to do it for today's video though. If you guys did enjoy and you guys want to see more like it, go ahead and leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to turn on those post notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos or updates. And until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.